Today, we're diving into a book that's touched millions of lives, Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. Now, on the surface, it looks like a simple adventure story about a shepherd boy who's looking for treasure. But if you look just a little deeper, it's really a roadmap for discovering an idea so powerful, it could totally change how you see your own life.
So let's just start with a big question the book asks you right from the get-go. What is your personal legend? It's a really unique phrase, and it is the absolute core of this entire story. It's all about your true purpose, that one-of-a-kind destiny that you and only you were meant to fulfill. Just think about it for a second. What do you feel like yours might be?
All right, so let's meet our hero. His name is Santiago, and he's a young shepherd from Andalusia in Spain. And honestly, he's pretty happy with his life, just roaming the countryside with his sheep. But then his whole world gets turned upside down because of this incredibly vivid, reoccurring dream he keeps having, a vision of a hidden treasure that's waiting for him all the way over at the pyramids in Egypt. So just as Santiago is trying to make sense of this wild dream, he runs into this mysterious old man who says his name is Melchizedek, the king of Salem. And this is not just some random chat. This guy seems to know everything about Santiago's life, and he drops this absolute bombshell of an idea on him. This dream isn't just some fantasy, it's his calling. And this, right here, is where we get the central concept of the whole book. Melchizedek gives Santiago's dream a name, his personal legend. And he explains that, look, this isn't just a wish or a goal. No, it's way deeper. It's your one true obligation in this life. It's the very reason you're here. And this is where Melchizedek shares what is probably the most famous line from the entire book. It's the story's big promise. He tells Santiago that once you commit, once you truly go after your personal legend, the entire universe, what the book calls the soul of the world, will literally conspire to make sure you succeed. Before sending him on his way, the king tells Santiago this little story, a parable. A boy is told to walk around a beautiful palace, but he has to carry a spoon with 2 drops of oil in it, and he can't spill them. The first time, he's so focused on not spilling the oil that he completely misses all the amazing things in the palace. The second time, he looks at all the marvels, but oops, he spills the oil. The lesson? It's simple but so powerful. The secret to a happy life is to experience all the wonders of the world, but never, ever forget about the drops of oil on your spoon, your purpose, your personal legend. So Santiago is fired up. He sells his entire flock of sheep and he sets sail for Africa. But the second he steps onto this new continent, his commitment is put to the test, immediately, and pretty brutally. He's in Tangier, a city he knows nothing about, and the one person he trusts to be his guide robs him of every last penny. So now he's totally alone, with nothing. And in this moment, he faces a huge choice. He can either see himself as a poor victim of circumstance, or he can reframe the whole thing and see himself as an adventurer facing his very first challenge. And you know what? He chooses adventure. Santiago gets a job working for a crystal merchant. He's a decent guy, but he's also kinda stuck. And he serves as this perfect example of what not to do. See, the merchant's lifelong dream is to go to Mecca, but he refuses to go. Why? Because he's terrified that if he actually achieves his dream, he'll have no reason to keep on living. He'd rather have the dream than the reality. And for Santiago, that is a huge wake-up call. So Santiago works his tail off for a whole year, and he doesn't just make his money back, he's a huge success. He has enough cash to sail back to Spain and buy a flock twice the size of his old one. But he's not the same person anymore. He chooses to risk it all over again and keep going toward the pyramids. He's learned to trust in Maktub, this idea that his path is written and his job is to follow it. All right, so with his wallet full and his spirit stronger than ever, Santiago joins a caravan to cross the massive Sahara Desert. This is a journey deep into the unknown. And it turns out the desert itself is about to become his most important teacher. Out there, in the incredible silence of the desert, Santiago starts to tune into what the book calls the universal language. This has nothing to do with words. It's the language of omens, of intuition, of a deep, spiritual connection to everything around him. It's funny, he's traveling with this Englishman who's just buried in books, trying to learn everything from texts. But Santiago, he's learning by watching, by listening, by feeling. He learns this powerful lesson from a camel driver, a man who literally lost everything he had and still found a sense of peace. The driver tells him that our biggest obstacle is always the fear of loss. But he says that fear just kind of melts away when you finally understand that your own personal story and the story of the whole world, they were written by the same hand. It's all one big story. The caravan finally makes it to this huge, beautiful oasis called Al Fayoum. And this place is a major turning point. It's where Santiago is going to meet two forces that will completely change his life: true love and his final mentor. He's at the oasis well when he meets Fatima. For Santiago, it's love at first sight. It's a connection so deep he immediately recognizes it as that universal language speaking loud and clear. For a minute, he's tempted to just give up his quest and stay with her. But Fatima herself teaches him the most important lesson about love: that if it's real, it will never stop you from pursuing your personal legend. It will push you toward it. And this exact idea gets hammered home when he meets his final teacher, the alchemist himself. You see, Santiago has a vision that helps save the entire oasis from an attack, and this gets the alchemist's attention. The alchemist finds him and basically says, that girl's right. If a love asks you to give up your dream, then it was never the kind of love that's connected to the soul of the world. So the alchemist agrees to guide Santiago the rest of the way, but their journey gets cut short. They're captured by a tribe of warriors. And to save them both, the alchemist makes this absolutely insane bet. He tells the chief that Santiago is so powerful he can turn himself into the wind. The chief, obviously skeptical, gives him an ultimatum. Prove it in 3 days or you both die. 3 days to perform an actual miracle. So, facing this impossible task, Santiago spends 3 days doing what the desert taught him to do. He listens. He enters this incredible dialogue, first with the desert itself, then he speaks to the wind, then the sun, and he learns from each of them about love and power and creation. And finally, he connects to the ultimate source of it all, the hand that wrote all. And in that moment of pure connection, when he finally understood that he and the desert and the wind and the sun are all part of the same thing, he does it. A massive sandstorm just erupts, engulfing the entire camp. By mastering that universal language, Santiago performs a true miracle. He becomes the wind. After surviving that ultimate test, Santiago and the alchemist go their separate ways. The boy is now on the final leg of his journey, all alone, and he's about to discover this story's greatest twist of all. He finally arrives. He's standing there, right in front of the magnificent Egyptian pyramids. With tears in his eyes, he starts digging in the exact spot he saw in his dream. He digs and digs, all night long. And he finds nothing, not a single thing. It feels like the entire journey was a failure. As he's lying there, totally exhausted, a group of thieves finds him. They beat him up and steal the little bit of gold the alchemist had given him. And when Santiago explains why he was digging there, because of a dream about treasure, the leader of the thieves just scoffs. He tells Santiago that he once had a recurring dream too, about a treasure buried in an old ruined church back in Spain, right under a sycamore tree. But then he says the one sentence that changes everything. I'm not stupid enough to cross a desert just because of a recurring dream. And in that one instant, Santiago gets it. He just starts laughing. The physical treasure was back where he started the whole time. But here's the thing. The journey was never about the gold. He had to go all the way to Egypt and back so he could learn the universal language, so he could find true love, so he could meet the alchemist and become the person he was meant to be. The real treasure was the journey itself. Santiago returns home a changed man, and he finds the chest of gold right where the thief said it would be. But the story leaves us with one final powerful question, and I'm going to pass it on to you. Every single one of us has a treasure waiting. The real question is, what desert, what challenges, what fears do you have to cross to find yours?